welcome to Garden Invaders. Today we're just outside Henley-on-Thames in the country.
Oh, we're in the country, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh, I don't get out much these days, you know, we're out of the city. I'm a city boy at heart.
You seem to have merged well with the countryside.
Yeah, I'm doing well, aren't I? Anyway, I've done the design for the garden owners, and I've got all the plants, I've got the materials, I've got all the boys waiting to go, but there's a catch, isn't there, Charlie?
Yes, there is,
What'd that
me
be?
lover.
What's
the
that?
catch is that they've got to answer my horticultural questions to win all the plants for Joe's design. Right, come on you, stop leaning on the fence. Today we're in the hamlet of Highmoor near Henley-on-Thames to invade the garden of Dawn Clark. She's been helped out by pal Peter Mowbray. Dawn's had a bad year, which means she's had no time to do the garden. As well as a full-time job, she's busy in the local community, so she really needs help to create an entertaining garden to bring some fun back into her life. Well, Dawn, this is a sweet little garden.
Oh, I don't think sweet's the word I'd
Well,
use, but
dinky.
it's a nice size. It's not too big.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything to it since I've been here. As you can probably see.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all a bit overgrown. There's not a lot going on in here, but we have got this nice green sort of backdrop and screening down the right-hand side here.
We have,
Which is
yeah.
fantastic.
Bit overgrown.
Bit overgrown.
So it does need a sort of a little bit of zhuzhing up, doesn't it, really?
It does. Just a little bit of care and attention. And then once I've got that, I will look after it, I promise.
Because you've had a bit of a
Yeah, it
miserable year, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. It's not like I started last September. My mum was diagnosed with a tumour and she died on the 4th of November. It's very quick, very sudden, but, you know, missed her dreadfully. And then in April, Timber, my Jac Russell, I'd had for 18 years. I had to make the decision to have him put down.
Not a good year.
No, it hasn't been at all. And I still can't believe this is happening because things like this just don't happen to me.
Well, they do.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. So, Pete, how do you know Dawn, then?
From school, we were old school friends. Didn't really have much to do with each other in the first 3 or 4 years, and then got sort of friendlier towards the last couple of years we were there, and just always stayed in touch ever since.
You obviously get on very well
We
in
do,
a...
yeah. We have a very
In a banterish,
So it's just sort of-
backbiting relationship. Yeah.
backbiting relationship, really.
Yes. Yeah, you'd be surprised to know that. You'll pick up on that as the day goes on, I expect.
I think a lot could be done with this.
Oh,
And you want
no pressure,
someone-
Joe.
You want somewhere to be able to sort of come out and sit, don't you?
Yeah.
In the nice weather, at least. Which
And invite friends round, not you, but friends.
Oh.
Right, come on, boys, girls,
Me.
no arguing.
Yeah, he's going to be digging away all
Small
day
Oh, so-
for you,
Small
and
party.
you're not even going to invite him round for the party.
You're doing the questions then, Dawn?
Yes, I am.
All right. So I think I'll take them away before they argue.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Split
come on.
them up. Keep
The
them
next
separate.
door we're going.
Right, I'm just
She's
splitting
really
you
common,
up.
isn't she? Really common.
Oh, mean. Well, Pete, we've got to be able to do better than this. Don't you think?
so. Sure.
Cheers, Dave. So I've come up with this plan. We're going to put a simple archway in over the entrance, you know, just sort of
Right.
as a lead in, and then over to a nice big deck area at the back there with a big L-shaped bench in it, which means that, you know, she can have loads of people over. You never know, you might even get an invite to the party.
So you could make that a lot smaller.
Well, she's only got one other friend, has she? And then a water feature to one side,
Cool.
yeah, which would be really nice. That'll attract some wildlife, but also, you know, just a nice reflective qualities. And then here, we thought we'd put a bar in and make you chief barman. What do you think?
Lovely, thank you very much.
There you go. There's your Invader for the Day T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, put it on. You got the boots on and everything. I can see you're up for a bit of digging.
Sure.
So we've got to lift this turf up.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Let's do it.
Well, this is a gorgeous garden, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's lovely.
Nice for your neighbours to let us come round. All these architectural plants.
Yeah, they're super.
And we've got some architectural plants here, but the first group we've got are climbers, all quite vigorous climbers. It's going to give you colour in the autumn, scent, colour during the summertime with flowers. So lots going on there.
I love honeysuckle. I love the smell of that.
Yeah, one of your favourites. And then I said architectural plants. We've got some flowering architectural plants, but also foliage architectural
Why do you call
plants.
them architectural plants?
Because they've got a very definite shape, like the delphiniums are very upright,
Oh,
and
I
the
see.
agapanthus sort of form a fountain. And then this is grey foliage here, really, with flower and scent again, aromatics and herbs in there. So that will give a nice soft effect to the garden and a bit of structure. And then to zing it right back up, daylilies of all different colours. All tend to be creams and oranges, but as you can see, the flowers only last for a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hence daylilies. And over there, we've got the finishing touches, a nice little barbecue. So if you're doing all that entertaining, yeah?
Be lovely.
But that's not your area, though. That's Pete.
Right.
How's his gardening?
Hopefully very good. Otherwise
Okay.
he'll never live it down.
Oh, you'll give him grief. What a surprise. Now, let me just tell you a bit more about these climbers. As I said, we've got quite a range here. We've got Virginia creeper, which it self-clings. It's got little suckers on its tendrils. So really good autumn colour, and it will be great for going up the garage wall there. That white one
lovely,
cover
yes.
that up. Chilean potato vine, and it's got these potato-like flowers, same shape, but the colour's purple.
That's
and
lovely.
flowers all summer long. Quite vigorous though, so you don't want it over a little tripod, you want it on a big expanse. Even sort of scrabbling up conifers, it'll do quite well.
Oh, really?
We got scent with honeysuckle and jasmine, and then a climbing rose. It's lovely climbing rose. It opens yellow and then goes buff pink.
Beautiful.
So it'd be good to get these climbers then.
It would, if I can answer this question, yes.
All right. What do you call small Brussels sprouts picked when they're very young? Are they dwarf sprouts, baby sprouts, or button sprouts?
Are they button?
I'm going to put you out your pain. Yes. Fantastic! Hey, look at that climbing rose!
Oh, I'm so pleased. Oh, that's lovely.
There we go. Joe will be pleased. I don't know what Peter will say to planting the rose if he gets any thorns in him.
Oh, he'll love it. He's thorny anyway.
The only way into this garden is along this thin, dark alley. So we're going to create a real entrance, put a nice frame here and grow some climbing plants over it. So it's like a doorway into the garden. And this green screen is great. We're just going to trim it back, smarten it up a little bit, but that gives good privacy and a nice backdrop. Over here, we're going to have a watery thing going on. Charlie's going to do, work her magic over here with a raised water feature, and that's going to be visible from this deck area. It's going to be a step up, slightly raised. Big generous deck, and we're going to build in some seating, like an L-shaped seat here, so it can be a very sociable space for entertaining. So Dawn can invite all her friends over. But if you invite them over, what you've got to do, you've got to give them a drink, haven't you? So over here, we're going to build a bar. Pint, please.
I hear you do a little bit of bell ringing.
Yes, I do, yes.
So-
Campanologist. is how I call it.
Campanologist, that's right. I knew there was a word somewhere. How did you get into that then?
It was a few years ago now. There was an article in the Henley Standard to say that St Mary's Church in Henley hadn't had bell ringers for over 20 years, and I quite like the idea of pulling a rope and ringing a bell. And I've always wanted to be an ologist, and I am now. We ring methods, we don't ring tunes, and what that is, you're ringing after a different bell at each stroke. So if
You ginned up on this, haven't you? Have you ginned up on your gardening knowledge as well?
probably not as much.
No. All right. Well, we got some really lovely plants here.
Oh, it's lovely.
The agapanthus. And agapanthus really are better in containers because they like to get pot bound. It makes them flower more and not too much of a rich soil. Delphiniums.
It's pretty. I love this white bit in the middle there. It's pretty pretty.
And then we've got a couple of plants that are grown for the foliage, but they do actually have flowers that are quite architectural. We've got the Regersea there. It's got quite a sort of textured leaf that goes very russety in the autumn. And then the rheum palmatum, although it's growing for its rhubarb-like leaves, it gets a flower like the rhubarb does, and that actually gets to about 6 foot high. So there's some really lovely plants there. Some of my favourites. I love rheum and Regersea. And all you've got to do is get the question right.
Right.
And they can be in your back garden.
Fingers crossed.
Which of these flowers grows from a tuber? Is it crocus, dahlia, or carnation?
Well, I think I know the answer, but it's like everything. If you think you know, it could be wrong. So I'm hoping it's a dahlia.
Yes, you're right. Yes! Fantastic. Hey, that's good. Lots of plants for your tiny garden.
Yeah.
The deck at the back of the garden is offset to the main entrance, so it's at a slight angle, which adds interest as you sort of dynamically work your way through the garden. That's the idea anyway. And we're going to plant around it, so we're going to lose the boundary behind it. And we've set it up. It's going to be a step up from the normal level. And this is a bit of a new one, really. We're building in an L-shaped bench, so it's a good economy of space. You should be able to get 3 or 4 people down this side, 3 or 4 people down the other side, and then, you know, another 2 or 3 chairs and a table on there. So it's a very efficient use of space and a very sociable area towards the back of the garden here. Now, Dave.
Hello, Joe.
How are you building it, mate?
Well, it's just a normal deck frame.
Yeah.
A normal deck frame that we always build.
Yeah, but what about all this stuff?
Well, I've just put the upstands, these back upstands here, go right into the concrete under the ground. That's the legs that we'd normally build a deck on. Right. I've just left them 450mm proud, nice seat level.
Yeah.
And then touch another one there, little noggin in there. Then the deck boards will give it a lot of strength that way when they're all screwed on.
Great, so it's going to be nice and solid.
Oh, it is, yeah, it will be good.
Yeah, it's looking great. Yeah.
Good.
I'll leave you to your noggins.
Thank you very much.
Now, Dawn, although you haven't tackled this garden, your old garden, you did quite a few projects in it, didn't you?
I did, yes. I laid a patio myself, and I also designed and built a pergola myself. And I've ordered all the wood from the sawmill. It seemed like a good idea at the time. And then all this timber was laid down on my path, all these posts, and I just thought, you must be mad to do this. I couldn't, they were nailed together because I couldn't do the carving out for them to join.
Right.
But it was all nailed together, and with the hanging baskets on there, it looked very good actually. I was very proud with it at the end.
Your timber work sounds like mine. My carpentry's 6-inch nail hammer.
Yes.
That's it.
Sorted.
Yeah. Now we've got some lovely plants here. We've got quite a few herbs, but they're mainly sort of silver foliages there. We've got French lavender, which is the ones with the tassels on, and we've got an English lavender. The French lavender is not as strongly scented as the English lavender. If you're going to cut lavender to dry, you want to cut
I'd like to do
it
that.
just as the flowers open. So these ones here would be ideal. And we've got 2 types of rosemary there. We've got an upright one and a prostrate one, which sort of grows flat. So, I mean, that's going to be ideal for the barbecue if Pete,
Oh, it is, yes.
if Pete gets the question right.
He better.
I think he's going to get so much grief, isn't he? So you're feeling quite confident now. You got 2 right, haven't you?
I don't want to be overconfident.
Right. What are produced in Spain by allowing dessert grapes to dry on the vine? Are they raisins, prunes, or currants?
I think raisins.
Yes. That was my legs! God, I've got to walk these round. I don't know whether I'll be able to now. Look, smelly plants, lavenders, lavender, look. Nice.
Lovely, beautiful.
What's going on?
You nearly trod on my foot then.
I was
You're
trying hard.
I've got a bad arm, and you're trying to hurt my foot. Yeah, well, I'm marking out this gravel area. See, we've got some quite dynamic shapes. The deck's coming together nicely there.
Does dynamic mean odd?
Dynamic?
No?
Odd?
Odd
What are you
shape.
trying to say? You're being rude. You're so
No,
rude. No,
no.
not odd shapes at all. I'm just sort of blending in different shapes together and
Deck?
trying to lose these walls.
What's all this about?
That's a raised seat. It's a built-in seat. Economy of space. It's not a very big garden, you see, so I've got to get as many people in here to party as possible. That's the plan.
What's that then?
That's a very tall coffee table.
Very low pergola.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not telling you.
Pete, what are you making? What are you making, mate?
We're making a bar.
Oh, very nice. Does she? Do you think she'll
She
use
likes a drink.
it? I'll tell you what you could do over here. They leave that bit open. You can put
wine
rack.
racks, that would be
Fantastic.
excellent. Yeah,
wouldn't
she'll
it?
like that.
Just from there to the bar, corkscrew.
Not far. Friend sat there when she's got some. She'll.
You are a tease, aren't you? You're mean to
It'd
her.
be good. Be excellent. Bar here. Should we?
So apart from putting
like
random posts in, what else have you been doing, Pete?
Well, we've been clearing all this, as you can see, and getting all the turf up.
Right then, Mr. Swift, I'm going to depart.
Okay, keep bringing the plants in, yeah? We
Yeah?
need more.
Oh, all right.
Yeah?
I'm not cheating though.
Can do a job.
I'll bet you're excited to know what's going on in the garden.
Oh, I am. I'm very excited.
I'm not going to tell you though. You have to wait. You'll have to wait. But they're very busy, as you can hear from all the digging. Now, this is your last question, and it's for those beautiful Hemerocallis over there. Hemerocallis are lovely. They're a herbaceous plant, which does mean that they die down in the winter and come back up every year. And you get them in various sizes, but they all make like a little hummock of foliage, and the flowers shoot up above them. And the flowers only last for a day, but you get lots and lots of them. Now, this, as I said, is a visual question. Do you know what this is?
Lavender.
That's not the question, but you're right.
Thanks, Charlie.
So this is lavender. Now, traditionally, it was used for something. Is it to stop hair loss, and you use the oil? Used during washing clothes and your body because it's antibacterial? Or is it used to ward off bad spirits because of the scent?
Complete guess. I don't really have any idea. I'd go for hair loss.
No, I'm afraid you're wrong. Think of lavender or lavandula, French larvae, to wash. It's antibacterial. That's why you
Yes,
put
it's good for burns, you see, as well. And it's
No,
good
that's
for
aloe vera.
No, lavender's good for burns.
Never mind, you can't get them all right.
Why?
Right, that's it, guys. Yeah, over there. They're brilliant, these pre-formed kits, because you sort of make them, well, half make them outside, carry them in. Obviously, you've measured the holes first and put them in the right places, and then, lovely, concrete them in, and then fix the whole thing together properly. But what it's going to do is, it's already doing it, I can see it already. Vision is creating a doorway as an entrance to this space. So it sort of delineates between the alley there and the main garden here. So you walk through here, there's lots of lovely scented climbers, great entrance, coming on nicely. To get from the entrance of the garden to the back of the garden, though, we're going to lay this paving, like stepping stones, really. That's it, Leon. If you lay one over there, so we can get to the bar. And Jake, we're going to carry on in this fashion, getting over towards the entrance. So we're taking the clue from the deck and running the lines off it. And then around it, we're going to have lots of gravel softening it and plants coming through the gravel. So we're going to lay this landscape fabric underneath the paving first, but we're just laying out the paving so we know exactly how it's going to go. And it's coming along, it's looking good. So this gives a dynamic line all the way through, but links the entrance to the back of the garden. It's coming on pretty well.
So your gardening knowledge is good. We're going to check your DIY out now, dear.
Right, start worrying.
So we're going to make a ladybird home because they really need somewhere to overwinter when it's very, very cold. And all they want is a dry, insulated place. So we've got this birch logged up into slices, and we want you to drill the odd hole in and then just arrange them somehow artistically.
Oh,
So
okay,
you got
then.
your drill, you got your clamp.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
Well, there's a whirlwind of activity in the back garden.
Ah, very clever.
Boom, boom.
Ah.
But I want you to make something
Oh, guess what?
out of these.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now let me think.
It's not a bench.
No, it might be a pond.
Well, a water feature.
All right.
I thought, because there's a bit too much sort of leaf coverage for a proper pond. So what do you think? Something nice and chunky fitting with the deck, yeah?
Okay.
I'll leave it
All
with
right.
you.
Well, it won't take long.
Oh, is that for me, Dave?
Certainly is West Country cider, mate.
Oh, beautiful. Did you hear about the lobster that went into the bar?
No.
Yeah, the barman kicked him out. He said, why are you kicking me out? He goes, well, you always coming here giving me all that.
Silly man.
Anyway, you've got to have a bar in an entertaining garden.
It's
haven't
all
you?
a rave now, isn't it? Bars and gardens.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of single person's bar, really, though, isn't it?
Well, this side.
Yeah, that side, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the barman.
You are a barman.
Yeah.
Usually you're this side, aren't you?
I know. Don't feel
Anyway.
very comfortable here.
How have you built this thing?
Normal stuff, mate. Fence posts,
Yeah.
concrete, decking on top, and I'm going to cut that line out for you.
Right, okay. I don't want to see your legs underneath. It's not a pretty sight.
Oh, mate. I
No,
love my
seriously.
legs.
You've got to clad this somehow, okay?
I will. There's some like willow hurdle.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
nice.
Nice one. Anyway, listen. You've got to remember, gardens aren't just about entertaining, they're about plants as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's £2.50, mate. Come back. You're paid.
over here we're going to green up all the boundaries with plants, because actually what that does is make the garden feel much bigger. You can see the boundaries straight away at eye level. It cramps the space in, and when you lose them visually, it makes the space feel bigger. So we're going to put all these climbers up here. We've got this lovely variegated jasmine, we've got Virginia creepers, honeysuckle, solanum, loads of different climbers, and some of them will self-cling, cling to the fence, and some of them need some support. So we're putting these galvanised wires in, running them horizontally, and then Jake's doing a great job here of just tying the plant in. And actually what that does is keep it away from the fence a little bit, so it lets the air circulate, which means you're going to get a much healthier plant. So I'm going to leave you to it, Jake. Yeah? Right, just keep going round, all the way round, green up that fence.
Right, the pond's full, it's level. I've tacked the line around the edge and we're going to put a capping stone on, which is going to be chunky timber. But before I put that on, I'm going to put the pump in. Now this is a small little fountain pump. They come as a kit, so you've got an extension tube there which goes up and down. That adjusts the flow, so that means that it adjusts the height of the spray. You get a bell jet, which is one of the ones that goes like that. You get a rose, and that's just a single ring, but that'll go quite high. So I'm going for that one there because it's got 2 rings, it'll look quite pretty and it'll give a nice sound. All you have to watch with all fountains is that you're catching all the water you move. So if it's a windy day, you want to turn your fountain down, because otherwise when it's very windy, it'll all spill out and you'll pump the pond dry.
Okay, Pete, we've left Charlie in the garden, getting on with her project. She's doing a great job there. So I've come to ask you this big question.
Big question.
This is a big one. Nice, isn't it?
It's very nice.
It's really nice. Dawn would love that, I think.
Yes.
No pressure or anything, though.
She would. No, I'm ready. I'm calm. I'm calm.
It's only a bit of fun, remember? Now, in the horticultural world, what is a ha-ha? Is it a gardening tool, a pollarded lime tree, or a sunken hedge or fence?
It's a sunken hedge or fence.
Very confident.
I am.
You are 100% correct.
Yes.
Congratulations. Well
Thank you.
done. Yes.
Thank you.
That's right. It's one of those things you put on the edge of your property in the olden days, and you had a sunken thing, and it'd make you pretend that you owned all those sheep and cows beyond in the fields
as
beyond.
far as you can see.
As far as I can see.
I can almost smell the sausages.
Oh, she's going to love you for that. It's absolute mayhem in there. I can't hear myself think, so I thought I'd get a couple of my favourite plants and bring them out here. Let them finish the hard landscaping, so at least we can put them in straight away when all that's done. Now, this is fantastic. Look at that. This is Agapanthus headborn hybrid. And there's quite a few different varieties of them. They're from South Africa, and they like a nice sunny spot. And they can also be grown in a pot. In fact, they like to be grown in a pot because it contains their root system and forces them to flower. So if you've got one at home and it's not flowering, put it in a pot and keep it in there. Treat it mean. And look, when it does flower, it's fabulous. These lovely pale blue flowers, big clusters of them. It's just coming into flower right now. That's one of my favourites. And this is another. This is Nandina domestica firepower, or it's also called the chopstick tree or the heavenly bamboo. It's really gorgeous. It's only a little specimen. I've got quite a big one in my garden. It gets about a metre, maybe 4 feet tall or something like that. And it's got these red stems. Fresh growth is red in spring, and then it goes red again in the autumn. And then it'll flower with white flowers, and it'll have these mad berries all over it, loads and loads of berries. And some people think it's not very tough, but actually you can grow it in most parts of the country, no problem. So this is a great architectural plant, and that's a great one for colour. What more can you want?
Excited then?
Yes, I am.
Now, just remind us what the garden was like this morning before we started.
It was just grass and it was just a mess, and it had a horrible metal stump in the middle, and it was just horrible.
Okay, take your hand away, but don't open your eyes yet. Take your hand away, eyes closed. Right then, you can open your eyes.
Wow! That's lovely.
So you have your...
Barbecue!
And you've got your pond there with a
Can I fish in it?
You can put fish in it. It's
Can
deep enough
I?
to put fish in, yeah.
So lovely.
And we've got your deck area there with your seat all the way
Oh, that's
around.
great. That's a really neat idea, actually, isn't it?
And do you know what this bit is? Here.
It's a bar. I can spot that. The blue
Smell
bottle.
that a mile off.
So it's a great place for
Oh, it
entertaining.
is. It's fantastic. Yes, paving's great. I saw Peter carrying them up the path, actually. It said, don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Nagging him even though he's doing all that work for you. He's done so well.
He's really grafted today. Really got stuck in, haven't you?
Yeah.
What have you done today, Peter?
Oh, a bit of everything, haven't I? We've,
Yeah, which stone did you lay?
yeah, it's that
Just
one
the
over
one,
there.
was it?
Just that small one over there.
Carrying a slab,
That was
digging
it.
holes.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Decking.
mum's lily.
Yeah, and doesn't it
Yeah.
match the candles really
It
well?
does. That's fabulous. Thank you.
So what does it mean to have it all done in one day?
It's just fantastic. I can't put it into words because I still can't really believe that you've actually come to do my garden because things like this don't happen to me, but it is just absolutely brilliant. I couldn't, didn't even imagine it would be this lovely. And it is. It is fantastic.
I think we ought to
love
test
this, I
out
love
the
this.
bar, don't you?
Oh, I think so too.
Be
yeah.
rude not to, really.
Absolutely.
It would be rude not
Absolutely.
to.
Yes.
That's just the colour.
Yeah, shall I get behind the bar then?
Well, I think this is very nice. Bar's at exactly the right height to lean on. We've got pond, lots of plants.
Fantastic,
Hey.
isn't it?
If you
Yeah.
hadn't got all those plants, it would look a bit bare, wouldn't it?
Ah, that's great. Look, it's a real garden to entertain. They're having a great time, aren't you guys? Yes! Oh, such enthusiasm.
They've drunk all the beer.
I know. Well,
So here we have a bar, pretty glasses,
well,
no alcohol. Never mind.
Cheers.
Cheers anyhow. See you next time.
see you. Bye.